Never did I believe that I would fall in love with something or someone named Dallas. Well, it looks like that's about to change. Dallas Goedert. He's already wowing me. He's already wooing me. He's already charming me. He's sweeping me off of my feet. It's a swift love. I am falling for Dallas Goedert. And it's only the preseason. My goodness. But he looked like a beast tonight. And he was the story coming out of this game. So the blocking, yeah, it still needs some work. And I'm going to kind of dissect that a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to do a little film on him. The preseason, though, doesn't have the all-22, but I'm going to take a look at him. But what he did out there, he looked so fluid. He looked so smooth. The way he catches the ball, tugging at the heartstrings already. Dallas Goedert already making an impact. 26-yard completion, his first preseason reception on a corner route. He's got the seam route, and the most impressive was the touchdown. And this is the reason why it was so impressive, because he's an FCS guy coming to the NFL. The speed of the game, it's supposed to be a lot different. And here he is, the awareness to know that the quarterback was going to his right. He found the hole in the defense. He sat down. The awareness, the football IQ already. That's what they talk about there, along the red zone, how he's such a red zone threat. It's not only just leaping up and snatching these one-handed catches in the back corners of the end zone. It's not just leaping up and boxing out defenders along the seams. It's stuff like this, having the spatial awareness, knowing when the defense is in zone, finding soft spots in it. That's what Dallas Goedert is already showing. He looked incredible. And he, to me, again, the main story to take out of this game tonight. So, and that's the other thing, too. All the guys that have been hyped up in training camp, they all showed up tonight, for the most part. Every single one of them. Not only just Dallas Goedert, Devontae Bosby looked really good. I know he didn't really play with the first stringers or whatever, but what he showed, trusting his eyes, closing on the ball, jumping 2 routes back to back. And then he also had the one where they tried the double move on him, and it was not today. Again, that was like a rookie, I believe. I forget who it was. It might have been James Washington, but yeah, just wasn't having any of that. So we did have a little bit of scare, though, with Sidney Jones. But turns out he looks like he's okay. So thank God, but that was a little bit scary there. But he showed that he could tackle a little bit. And I know it was a penalty. And the thing about this preseason, they're really going to try to emphasize this rule. So they're really going to be over the top in trying to enforce it. So the players are kind of ready come the regular season what to expect. I don't think it's going to be this tightly called where you're going to see bullshit like this. Now, technically, according to the rule, it was a penalty, but the sport of football, as we know it, as we knew it, is starting to be taken away from us if stuff like that is a penalty, because that was a pretty damn solid tackle by Sidney Jones. Just saying. And you had the other one on the 81-yard punt. By the way, an 81-yard bomb by Cameron Johnston, whatever the hell you want to call him. So there's that. All right, the other thing coming out of this game. So the weak side linebacker position, kind of off-season, who's going to fill that vacancy of Michael Kendricks. Corey Nelson was kind of talked about a lot during the off-season, but the guys that played tonight were Nate Jerry and Kamu Grugier-Hill. Corey Nelson didn't really play until really the end of the first half, second half, really. And Kamu Grugier-Hill was the one who flashed. And, he's got limited tape, but whenever he's on the field, he does play really fast. And each and every time he takes the field, he plays a little bit faster. And the play around the goal line tonight was the option where Josh Dobbs, he pitched it, and Kamu Grugier-Hill read it perfectly, closed it on the running back to make the tackle for loss. And we saw this a couple times where no hesitation, closing in on running backs and making tackles in the running game. And that was something I like to see. for Grugier-Hill. So I would say right now he's the leader in the clubhouse after one preseason game. It seems like Corey Nelson, he didn't even get a shot, really. So Nate Jerry was out there, and it was Grugier-Hill. Now, these guys do know the offense better than Nelson right now, obviously coming into their second years. But that is no excuse. Nelson right now just doesn't even seem like he's in the picture. So Grugier-Hill really looked good tonight, and we'll see as the preseason kind of goes along this little battle between Grugier-Hill and Nate Jerry to get like 40% of these snaps. That's how it's going to kind of get divvied up here at that weak side linebacker spot. Okay. Nate Sudfeld. He had a bad interception kind of to start. He was kind of meh. You had the touchdown to Shelton Gibson, and, that was good for him. Good for him to catch that long ball, because he was the guy last year that really, really struggled mightily with the drops, if you remember, was just dropping everything in camp and dropped a couple balls in preseason. So he hangs on to that. Easy separation there on the go route. So Shelton Gibson, that's the kind of stuff you want to see from him. Go route guy, home run ability, and he went out there and caught one tonight. So there it is, Shelton Gibson. Corey Clement, Josh Adams, I have their names written down. Corey Clement, I'll tell you what, he looks really confident out there now. It's something about the way the Super Bowl transpired, the way he looked in that game. You could see the confidence carried from that to the offseason to what we saw tonight. I mean, my goodness, the way he was turning the corner, very, very quick, very decisive when he was making his cuts and bouncing his runs to the outside. And the one run where it was only like 9 yards, but he cut against the grain, and then he made the linebacker miss on the second level when he cut to the inside. So Corey Clement, man, all right. I liked what I saw from him tonight. So, just again, a little preseason action. Josh Adams. Here's the thing I'll say about Josh Adams, and here's the thing about this offensive line, because this offensive line is so damn good run blocking. Think about it. So, yards before contact for these running backs. So if you're not getting hit for like 4 to 5 yards, a guy like Josh Adams, who's very hard to bring down, very big guy, in between the tackles type of runner. So if he's got a head of steam charging forward, if there's a big hole and he's not getting hit until 5 yards into his run, he's going to drag those tacklers for a little bit. And we talk about, again, you got to fill the LeGarrette Blount role, that vacancy. And he had a couple runs tonight where he's just a bruiser, just tough to bring down, strong, tough running from Josh Adams. And Donnell Pumphrey didn't even play tonight. So that doesn't help his status at all, obviously. So it was already going to be a difficult thing for him to make the team. And not good after tonight not playing. So he doesn't play. And, again, that's like, again, back to his stature and him being a pipsqueak, a little bug. And if you can't get that body together, I know he got stronger in the offseason, but if this is something where he's just going to keep getting nicked up and keep getting hurt, man, it's just not looking good for Donnell Pumphrey. That's all. Hilarious thing at the end tonight. Near the end, the fourth quarter there. Long Cox, the interview with Dave Spadera, that was great. Fletcher Cox, always the preseason MVP when it comes to getting interviewed and photo bombing, and he did it again tonight. They had to go to a quick transition from Long Cox back to the broadcast booth. Fletcher Cox, deep penetration, and he did it on the field too. David DeCastro made mincemeat of him tonight. So, like, in a series, he had the sack, and then he chased down a screenplay. So Fletcher Cox already in midseason form. Deep penetration. All right, so that's about it. Josh Sweat also saw some action as well. Again, he's another one that they're really talking about. Long, looks really smooth. So I look forward to see more of him. And that's the other thing. I'm going to watch this game again. I'm going to look at things a little bit closer. I'm sure maybe did I miss anybody by any chance? Avonte Maddox had a nice play where I believe who was he on? Oh, I forget who he's on off the top of my head, but he rode the hip of the wide receiver, steered him towards the sideline, forced the incompletion. So that was a nice play from Avonte Maddox. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Jeremy Reeves and Trey Sullivan, I thought looked okay too. And I forgot about the offensive line. How could I forget about the offensive line? I meant to talk about Matt Pryor, and I liked some things that I saw from him already. So they had him kind of on the move a little bit, pulling and moving around. And I liked what I saw. Again, I'm going to look into it a little bit further when I break the game down further and look into things. And I'm going to look into Dallas Goedert's blocking as well, because his was up and down too. He had a nice block on the Jay Ajayi run. That was like the 19-yard run, and he got his arms extended, and he had a nice block there. But there were a couple ones where he just kind of missed his block altogether. There was one on a third down. There was one, I believe, on the ensuing series after it was like a 3rd and 13. So some of the things that I saw on tape at South Dakota State, I saw tonight. Whenever he had to kind of pull and be on the move and kind of locating targets and being balanced and being able to use his hands and kind of doing those kind of things on the second level, I didn't see that consistently at South Dakota State. And some of the things, again, I saw those tonight. So things that he needs to work on. That doesn't mean he's not going to work on them. And the coaching staff, I've already seen some improvements with his technique. Again, I referenced that run earlier. I mean, that was great technique with the hand usage, the placement, the punch that he was able to get to generate. I mean, if you watch the playback, he pushed the defender back a couple yards. So there you go. All right, those are my thoughts on the preseason game. I think I got everything in there. I am Adrian Fedvue. I'm out of here. Take care.